Hello, hello, hello.
What's up, man? How
So
are you?
how was New York?
It's a trip, man. It's a trip to be back. As much as I love California, I was kind of getting used to that New York living, not having a care in the world. Well, that's not true, but
Being
but
on
just
vacation?
yeah, just being on vacation and all the different foods and stuff. And went to this movie theater. They're supposed to have like the biggest IMAX screen in the United States, and
In
it's
New York?
At the Lincoln Square.
That's saying
Lincoln
something.
Lincoln Square in New York, and it was a trip. So I went to go check out a movie, and I was thinking like, I wanted to see John Wick, but I knew it wasn't going to come out yet. But I wanted to go see a movie in that big old screen, right? Since I'm in the area and I love movies, why not go check it out on the
Right?
IMAX screen out here? So I go, and this is supposed to be this really nice movie theater. So I get there, and they got like this, almost like this hazmat tent in front of it, right? And I'm kind of looking, and they got like a ladder that's kind of like they're working on something, and some curtain stuff was up, so some stuff was kind of blocked off, and I'm like,
Not good first impression.
right. I'm like, this is what everybody was bragging about. Oh, okay, I'm a little concerned. Okay. And so then I go in, and it looks kind of cool, looks kind of old but kind of modern. They have a guy that's working behind these kiosks, but all the kiosks is kind of like you pick the movie you want from this big iPad on this thing and get your ticket and all that kind of stuff. And all the theaters are upstairs on the second floor. So I'm going up the escalator, and I'm looking off to the side. It's all like blocked off and got tarps and coverings.
It's
and
under
stuff.
construction.
Right, under construction. And I was gonna try to go and see an IMAX movie, but it was no IMAX movies playing that day. So I guess they was working on it or something. And so I'm going up the escalator, and I see the escalator that leads to the IMAX, and they got this big old, look like a sign that's in front of it, but then they got like this black covering over it where it's blocking you from getting on that escalator. I'm afraid of heights, right? I'm looking at that escalator that goes to the IMAX screen, and it goes straight up, and like several floors.
And you're like, I'm glad it's not open today. I'm really glad.
Part of me, okay, the part of me that's afraid of heights is kind of like, hell no. It should be 3 more floors up, but then you don't see the levels. It just goes straight to the,
Okay.
and there's nothing behind it. It's
Oh,
nothing
because
like
it's all that stadium seating.
Right. So that whole thing is saying that screen is so big that like there's no 3rd, 4th, or 5th floor, because those floors will impede on the space for the screen, I'm assuming, because it goes up to like look like the 6th floor, right? With nothing in between it. So it's nothing, it's no, pillars behind the escalator to hold it up. It's just like
There's a straight
second floor
gap.
to go up, right? And I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking like, part of me is like, I'm glad I can't get on it. And the other part of me is like, my geekness wants to see that damn screen now. Like, I'm this close.
Right?
I want in. I might have a heart attack and faint on the way up, and they might have to revive me once I get to the top. But I wanted to see what that was. And so I go into my movie. I end up seeing the movie 65 with Adam Driver.
Okay.
That was an interesting movie.
Did you already drop your review for that? I think that's
Yeah.
the one you dropped today. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
dropped
not
a review
crazy.
for it. And this is during the day, so it wasn't a lot of people out there. So I went to go get my popcorn or whatnot. And so I went there, and it's these dudes were in line, and they were still trying to decide what they wanted. And they said, "Oh man, go ahead, you can go ahead and go. We're not sure what we want yet." So I'm looking up there. I'm trying to figure out what I want. And he was like, "So what are you gonna go see?" And I was like, "Man, I want to see John Wick, because I was hoping that I could see it out here on this big IMAX screen, but it's shut down. But so I'm gonna go see this movie 65." And he said, "Oh yeah, we just saw that. We just saw that John Wick. It was really good." I'm like, "Huh? Like, how'd you see it? What do you mean?" He said, "Yeah, we just saw it. We do security. Tonight we're having a big premiere." So Keanu Reeves and everybody was coming to that theater, and that's why everything was blocked off, roped off, and covered up, because they have the big premiere where everybody, world premiere, they're having there at that theater, and that's
Had
why.
to make sure everything was right.
Dude. Okay, now I know in my eyes I must have been looking like, like, take me.
Right? Please.
And I think that if I would have bumped into that dude earlier, I bet you he probably could have worked something out for me. But I know if you have all those stars and stuff coming in, it's gonna be like that kind of a thing that you can't just be no last minute,
Yeah, no.
hey, you want to come kind of thing. I bet you if it was like the day before, it probably would have been a different thing.
Right.
But
Get
I
me in
was
the
hoping,
back
man.
door.
Yeah, exactly. Or give me a badge and be like, your honorary security, so go ahead and check it out. But man, I was so close, because Weird stuff like that happens for me. So I wouldn't have been surprised if that kind of thing would have been like I would have went to New York or went to that John Wick premiere with all them stars there. That would have really made that trip to New York. But the real reason why I was there is for Malaya and her color guard, and they performed in the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Wow.
It was so cool.
That's got to be a trip doing any sort of parade thing.
Yes.
In a city with buildings just that monumentally big.
Exactly. It was so impressive. And it's just like the feeling of it. And, you know, from the kids coming from like a small town to this big old city that's just, you know, like you said, on this other level, it's a trip. It's a trip. And I got kind of choked up. It was just amazing to see all the hard work and all the stuff they've been through, and them training for it and being tired. And every weekend we're doing these competitions and stuff. And just for the band to be there for a town that most of those people probably never heard of before, except when it was announced there. And they're up there representing it and representing well. It was a beautiful sight. And I was glad that I could be there to witness it personally. But when I saw Malaya and the girls, I was just like, man, I am so proud. But yeah, man, so the main reason we were out there was for that, but I also did my movie stuff. I made sure I got a lot of food. I ate every day, different spots, went to Midtown Comics, which is several levels of comic book stuff and action figures. Dude, man, I was cutting up. It was geek's paradise for me. I was not playing. I had all.
Did your wallet take some hits that day?
And I didn't care. I'll
take one of these and one of these and one of these and a new display case.
Man, it was just so cool just to see all that stuff and to be there in that city and just to kind of get immersed in that life, you know, just the hustle and bustle of it all. It was just cool. Did some sightseeing, checked out some of the spots where they filmed John Wick movies.
Well, that spot you sent the pictures of the tunnel, I think is too derogatory a term for that, because I've seen it in everything. Yeah. But I never realized that the ceiling for that tunnel space was so ornate. It looks like tile. Like it's like wow.
Yeah, it looked like it's almost lit up too. I've seen some more pictures of it. It was gorgeous. And they had a young lady that was in there. I guess she's one of the students from Juilliard or something. I think it's not too far from there. And she was singing some opera. And the acoustics in there.
I have heard opera singers like to sing in the bathroom because the tile is good acoustics.
Yeah, man, it's real, man. It's real. So just to be there and be kind of serenaded in a way, it's just unreal how beautiful it is. So yeah, so it's really neat and a lot to take in. So it's a lot of going to bed at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, waking up, early, running around, kind of taking care of stuff. So I squeezed all the juice out of that apple. I, went to the top of the Rockefeller building, went to Isles Island and went to see the Statue of Liberty, just everything. Went to Harlem. My boy John, I met him, I think it was like in 93. And I met him on a Greyhound bus going to Sacramento, and he was going to school out there. And he's from New York, he's from the Bronx, and we've been friends ever since. I was drawing on the bus, and he looked over my shoulder and he's like, "Oh man, I like the artwork you're doing." And he's into Batman and comic books and stuff, and we just struck up a friendship, and we've been friends ever since. And most of the time, he's coming, to the Bay Area, and we catch up and hang out and stuff. And so it was nice to finally go out there, and because last time I was out in New York, he wasn't out there, so this time he was, and he met me at the airport and stuff, hooked me up with a Metro pass so I could just kind of go on everything I need to go on. It was prepaid for me, and if I got stuck and I was, "Hey man, how do I get here?" Blah blah blah. "Oh, take this exit, this, and I'll see you after work, and we'll go get food." And it was great. It was great.
Own personal guide. It's so fucking handy. Oh
man,
my God.
Having cool people in your life, it does have its benefits.
Right.
Have its benefits.